Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, The Magical Solution. My name is Leilani. We are live here tonight, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to continue moving forward with our book club and the book of the season, which is Nosso, written by Chico Xavier, a medium in Brazil. We are, I believe, on chapter 50 and moving forward. So make sure you say hello, drop your name, drop where you're watching from in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. In the meantime, I am going to share screen with you guys. Let's see. There we go. Let me know if you can see this. Let me know in the comments if you can see this. Sorry, if you can see this. I think that's better said. Okay. Okay. Here we go. A Citizen of the Astral City is the title of this chapter. I felt terribly tired the second night. I was beginning to realize the value of spiritual nourishment through mutual love and understanding. In the Astral City, I could go for several days of active work without ordinary food. The presence of our dear friends, their affection, the absorption of pure elements through the air and the water had been enough to refresh me. Here, however, in my earthly home, there was nothing except a battlefield. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. Oh man, little tickle came out of nowhere. Here, however, in my earthly home, there was nothing except a battlefield where my loved ones had ceased to be my friends. I thought about Clarence's inspiring words, and they brought some peace and comfort to my heart. For the first time, I began to understand human needs. I was not Zelia's keeper, but her brother and friend. Likewise, I was not my children's master, but their companion along the road to spiritual enlightenment. I recalled Laura telling me that we should all act like bees, approaching the flowers of life, the memories of the noble souls we have met along the path, and extracting from each the substance of good examples to acquire the honey of wisdom. Ooh, I love that. Love that, you guys. I decided to take her advice and began by remembering my mother, who had sacrificed herself to return to the earth and adopt those unhappy women as beloved daughters. Similar edifying examples abound in the astral city. Minister Veneranda had been working for centuries for the benefits of the spiritual group closely related to her. Narcissia was serving in the chambers to obtain spiritual endorsement of a return to the physical world to help her loved ones. Hilda had overcome the dragon of inferior jealousy. And what about the countless gestures of fraternity I had received from my friends in the colony? Clarence had welcomed me with the devotion of a father, Lysias's mother had received me as a son, and Tobias had made me his brother. Each of my new friends had offered me something useful to help me build up a new mental attitude. I tried to distance myself from the apparent ingratitude I found in my old home. With divine love above all, I put the needs of my fellow man before my own personal sentiments. Though extremely tired, I entered the room of the sick man, whose condition worsened from moment to moment. Zelia was standing by the bed, holding his head in her arms. In tears, she pleaded, "Ernest, Ernest, have pity on me. Don't leave me, my darling. What will become of me if you die?" The sick man caressed her hands and managed to answer with intense affection, in spite of the strong dysphonia. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say it is, that affected him. I pray to the Lord to grant me the strength necessary to be understandable and to consider this couple as my brother and sister. I could see that Zelia and Ernest loved each other deeply, and if I truly wanted to be their brother, I must certainly do everything in my power to help them. I set to work. I began by trying to enlighten the ignorant entities who kept a close link with the patient. My difficulties were enormous, and I felt exhausted. In this emergency, I remembered that Tobias had once told me that not all the inhabitants of the astral city needed an airbus for transportation. Those more evolved could use volitation as a more convenient means. They could also communicate over long distances, mind to mind, using thought language. Those who are attuned use the process of mental communication at will, regardless of distance. I remember how useful Narcissia's help would be, and made up my mind to try. I concentrated, and in the vibrations of a fervent prayer to God, I addressed Narcissia, asking for her help. I told her mentally of my painful experience and my great desire to help, and pleaded urgently with her not to abandon me. Then the unexpected happened. After some 20 minutes, while I was still concentrated in my prayer, I felt a light touch on my shoulder. It was Narcissia who had answered my call. "I've heard your call, my friend," she said, smiling, "and here I am. I couldn't have been more happy." The devoted nurse looked around and immediately understood the gravity of the circumstances. "What? We don't have time to waste," she said. She immediately began applying strengthening passes to the patient, raising a barrier between him and the dark entities who disappeared as if by magic. Then she turned to me and said firmly, "We must resort to nature." I followed her promptly. Sensing my curiosity, she explained, "Man is not the only one to receive and emit fluids. All of nature does the same. In our patient's case, we need the trees. They will be of great help to us." Wondering at this new lesson, I followed her in silence. After arriving at a place filled with enormous trees, Narcissia called out to someone with words I couldn't understand. In a few moments, eight spirit entities responded. And to my great surprise, I saw Narcissia ask them whether there were mango and eucalyptus trees in the neighborhood. Having received the required information from her friends, who were unknown to me, Narcissia turned to me and explained, "The brothers who have just come to our aid are ordinary workers in the vegetable kingdom," said Narcissia. Seeing my wonder, she continued, "You see, there is nothing useless in our Father's house. Wherever there are those needing instruction, there will also be those willing to teach. Whenever a difficulty arises, providence comes in. The only unfortunate being in the divine creation is the improvident spirit who condemns himself to the abyss of evil." With the emanations of the eucalyptus and mango trees, Narcissia quickly manipulated a certain substance, which she applied to the patient through his ordinary breathing and by absorption through the skin. Ernest improved visibly. Early the next morning, the doctor observed, extremely surprised. "What an extraordinary reaction! A real miracle of nature!" Zelia was happy, and the house was full of life again. As for myself, I felt great joy in my heart. Deep courage and beautiful hopes reinvigorated me. I recognized that deep down within me, the strong chains of inferiority had been broken forever, and true brotherly love and a sincere wish to serve had taken their place. That same day, I followed Narcissia back to the astral city, and for the first time, I tried volitation. In a moment's time, we had covered great distances. The banner of happiness unfurled in my soul. I told the generous nurse about the lightness I was feeling, and she explained. In the astral city, a great number of our friends could easily do without the airbus and go about on their own within the areas of our vibratory range. But as the majority have not yet acquired that faculty, we all abstain from using it in public places. The abstin the abstention the abstention, however, doesn't impede us from using it outside of town when it is necessary to cover long distances and save time. A higher comprehension and a new joy enriched my spirit. Instructed by Narcissia, I went to and from between the earthly house and the spiritual city without any great difficulty. I was thus able to intensify the treatment of Ernest, who improved rapidly. Clarence visited me daily and showed himself satisfied with my work. At the end of the week, my first leave of absence from the chambers of rectification had come to an end. Ernest's health was restored, and the couple, whom I now loved as my dear brother and sister, were happy once again. It was time. It was time now to return to my duties. In the peaceful light of a gorgeous sunset, I left for the astral city totally changed. In those 7 short days, I had learned precious practical lessons in understanding brotherly love. The sublime beauty of the evening filled my mind with lofty thoughts. How great is divine providence, I said to myself. How wisely the Almighty plans our work and life situations. How he attends to his creation with such love. All of a sudden, something broke my meditation. Over 200 of my companions were coming in my direction. They greeted me joyously, giving me a generous welcome. Lysias, Licinia, Narcissia, Silveria, Tobias, Salustus, and many other workers from the chambers were there. Taken by surprise, I was at a loss and did not know what to do. It was then that Minister Clarence came forward, holding out his hand. Andre, until now you have been my pupil in this city. Today, in the name of the governor, I declare you a citizen of the astral city. Why such magnanimity when my triumph was so small? I couldn't hold back tears of emotion which choked my voice. Thinking about the wisdom of divine mercy, I threw myself into Clarence's fatherly arms, crying out of gratitude and joy. Aw, well, that's nice. Let me take a sip of my tea. Oh, shit. That's it. That is the last chapter. All right. Well, that was extremely unexpected. I thought I had at least 2 more. I don't know why I thought I had more, but okay. So yeah, there it is. And which is a nice ending. I think that was a nice ending, you know? Like I think it was definitely a situation where like, he definitely proved himself. He did all the things he needed to do. He followed his instruction, and now he's a citizen. I think that's wonderful. It's a wonderful little happy ever after. Which by the way, this particular book is only the first book in like a series. So we actually get to follow Andre around for quite some time. And, several of his other books go much deeper into, the various astral cities, the various levels that are out there. He utilizes, storytelling, obviously, to give examples of more morally compromising situations, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, the further books, the later series, is definitely great. I wanted to actually ask you guys if you preferred to stay with this particular author for a few of his books, or if you want me to move on to the next author in this series of spiritualism, because there are quite a few. But I'll give you a fair warning. This author, Chico Xavier, definitely a much better writer. Definitely, it's more creative writing, it's more storytelling. It's definitely like more easily digestible. The next writer we're going to be getting into is more of like a philosophy person. So very similar to the writings of Allan Kardec. It's going to be pretty dry, lots of big words. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be kind of dry. So before we get into that, at least let me give you the option of letting me know whether you prefer to stay with this author for a couple more books or whether you just want to dive right into some of these other authors. So just let me know in the comments. But I have to say, thank you guys so much. I was going to say this at the end of the video anyway, but I have to just give a shout out and give love to all of the people who support the magical solution, who support me and my visions. It truly is such an honor to be of service to you guys. I think most importantly, I appreciate so much how patient and flexible everybody is with me, because it is just me. It's just me and my husband, and we both, have full-time jobs as well. And like, it's definitely one of those things where um, the demand right now is starting to get bigger than what I could normally handle. And so I'm appreciating you all so much with being patient as I navigate my schedule, as I try and settle the dust. I truly appreciate you all for that so much. And I think also too, another piece that I wanted to kind of throw out there is that I'm really, really proud of you as well. I think every single person who supports the magical solution and or myself are not necessarily new people. It's these are people now who have been following either since the inception or for at minimum over a year. And that just goes to show that what we do here at the Magical Solution is quality, and we retain people because we offer such good quality within our education, within, our products, within our services. And so, you know, you guys, how proud I am of you, because it's not just about having a fan base, it's about having people whom I also care about. And so I watch all of you guys too. Most of us are friends on Facebook. Most of us, see each other. We pass each other by in other social medias and stuff like that. And so I watch you, I watch your progress as well. And from the moment you started supporting the Magical Solution to now, I see those differences in all of you. Not saying that it has anything to do with me. I'm just saying since the time we've met, since the time I've known you, I've seen differences and I've seen growth, and it's so exciting to watch people's spiritual growth, especially people who may have taken a lesson from you here and there, or who may have received a product from you here and there. It's always just so exciting to see those people doing so well. And I'm rooting for you always. So I just wanted to say that as well. But that's really it. So next Tuesday, let's think about it. Let's think about what book we want to do, because not only are we starting a new book next Tuesday, but I kind of want to advertise for it. I kind of want to show a picture of the book and tell everyone this is what our next one is going to be. So let's get on it, you guys. Do you want to stick with this one, or do you want to move on to the next author? If you want, I'll tell you who the next author is. I had a list here. Let's see. Was it this one? No, he's next. No, he's not next. Okay, so the next author will be Andrew Jackson Davis. Okay, Andrew Jackson Davis will be the next author, who is an American spiritualist who hails from my hometown of Poughkeepsie, New York. So he's another one. So let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. But most importantly, remember that this is how we grow, you guys, together. Have a good night.